What can you actually eat for Passover and unleavened bread? So let's go ahead and make this simple. First, Passover and unleavened bread are connected, but they're not the same thing. Passover is the 14th day. Unleavened bread begins on the 15th day and lasts 7 days. Now, let's go over the basic food structure. For Passover, the Torah pattern is the lamb, unleavened bread, and bitter herbs. That's the core pattern from Exodus 12. Now, if you're not doing a lamb meal, don't fake the command with a bunch of religious props and call it Torah. Just be honest about what you're doing. The main food laws that people need to understand are these. First, unleavened bread means no leavened bread. So during the feast of unleavened bread, you don't eat bread made with leaven. That means no risen bread. So you avoid regular sandwich bread, rolls, biscuits, pizza dough, most pastries, and cakes made with leavening or anything that's fermented for rise. The point is flat, unleavened bread, not fluffy bread with spiritual meaning. Second is bitter herbs. Those are real food. They're not just there for decoration. They're there to remember bitterness and bondage. So that can include things like romaine, chicory, horseradish, or just other bitter greens. You don't want to overcomplicate it. The point is bitterness, not pageantry. Third, you can still eat normal food that isn't leavened. People act like you can only eat crackers for a week, and that's not true. You can eat meat, eggs, fruits, vegetables, rice if you choose, potatoes, beans, nuts, plain dairy if it doesn't have leaven additives. You can have unleavened bread, soups, stews, fish. The main restriction is leaven, not all good tasting food. The easiest thing is just to check the ingredients. And modern packaged food is where people get lazy, because leaven can show up in yeast breads, baking powder, and baking soda. Even all the way into ranch. It's just depending on how strict you're applying the standard. They have malt, brewer's yeast, sourdough starters, and just anything, again, that's fermented dough products. So you just read the label. You don't turn tradition into Torah. A lot of people want to bring extra rules from later traditions and act like they came from the text. The Torah command is very clear. You eat unleavened bread, which is just you remove leaven, you remember the deliverance, and you keep the feast. It doesn't require you to copy every later Passover plate tradition to obey Yahuwah. The point is remembrance and separation. That isn't a diet trend. Passover and unleavened bread teach deliverance, haste, separation from corruption, remembrance from bondage, and obedience in time. So yes, the food matters, but the food is carrying a lesson. So here's the takeaway. For Passover, you want to have lamb, unleavened bread, bitter herbs. For unleavened bread, there's no leavened bread for 7 days. Eat simple, clean food. Keep leaven out. And don't overcomplicate what Torah has made clear. And no, you don't need to starve, panic, or turn your kitchen into a rabbinic laboratory. Just remove leaven, eat unleavened bread, use bitter herbs appropriately, and keep the days with understanding. That's how it works.